mental boundaries you might have around cooking Thai food. And some of you are excited to start, but where do you start? That brings me to the second reason why a lot of people don't cook ethnic food at home is because they don't know where to begin. In order to begin, you need some basics, and the basics include ingredients and what I like to call structure. Okay, so let's first talk about ingredients. Now, I've got lots of ingredients and I can't talk about all the stuff that we used, obviously, but what I've chosen are a part of what I call the basic Thai pantry. And the basic Thai pantry are things that are versatile, they're used often, and they're the stuff that if you were to randomly walk into a Thai person's home, you'd find most of these in there. And there's lots, so in order to help you mentally organize the stuff, I divided them into 6 different categories according to function, okay? You've got sturdy herbs, finishing herbs, salting agent, acids, sweets, and then others is just there to catch anything that I couldn't put anywhere else. So let's talk about first sturdy herbs. I'm going to put this down so that all of you can see. So sturdy herbs, I call them sturdy herbs because they don't wilt, as opposed to basil and cilantro and delicate things like that. Sturdy herbs, things that we commonly use include lemongrass, this is galangal, and then Kaffir lime leaves. These are what I call the Thai Trinity. I call them the Thai Trinity because they're used often together, and we also, the way you use them is actually very similar. So first, lemongrass. I want to show you how to prep them first before I talk about how to use them. Comes whole like this. Sometimes it's trimmed, but if it's not, what you want to do is you want to cut off the dry top bit, cut off the knob at the end, and then any dry bit outside you want to peel off. Okay? This is where the flavor is most concentrated. You want to cook with this. This stuff, the top you can throw it into stock or something if you want to, but this is what you want to cook with. It's very tough, so what you want to do is you want to smash it down, help bruise it so the flavor release more easily with the back of your knife. That's it. And then to store, this is how I store them. I just cut them into pieces like this and store them in a Ziploc bag. It lasts in your freezer for months and months, okay? Because they sometimes sell lemongrass in 4 and you're not gonna use 4 lemongrass in the near future, so that's what you wanna do. Galangal looks similar to a ginger because it is also a rhizome just like a ginger, except the flavors are yin and yang. Ginger is hot, galangal is cool. It has a flavor similar to like a pine forest. It's really refreshing and woodsy. You don't need to peel it, and we don't use this part, only the hard part here. You just want to slice them into thin round, and in this form, and you can come up and smell and taste and do whatever you want to do with them afterwards. Store them in this form in the freezer as well for months. When you freeze them, make sure they're not on top of each other or they'll stick. Lay them flat, and once they're frozen, then you can toss them together. So that's that. And then finally, the Kaffir lime leaves. My favorite herb in the world. It's got a really unique citrusy flavor. Freeze them just like this. Don't need to do anything. Okay, this is the fruit of the Kaffir lime. We don't cook much with this. We use it in curry paste and little things like that. Most of the time, this is what you're going to use. Now, other than these, we also use garlic a lot, shallots also a lot, and then Thai chilies. Thai chilies you can also freeze forever. In fact, I freeze all 4 of these in one Ziploc bag because most of the time I'm going to use them all together anyway. Now, how do you use these sturdy herbs? There are 3 major ways to use sturdy herbs. One is as an infusion. When you cut them big like this, or in rounds, this one if you roughly tear it, let it infuse like you would a bay leaf in a boiling liquid, except it doesn't take half an hour to stew. A couple minutes after the water comes to a boil, you've got it, okay? So that's an infusion. Now, if you're going to put it in a soup in this form, you do not eat it because it's very tough, it's very hard, it can be highly unpleasant and in fact dangerous if you try to. I've got stories, but afterwards for off camera. So the next thing you want to do is, well, another way to use it is to finely chop them. If you finely chop them, you can toss them into a stir fry, a salad, in things like salsas or dipping sauces. In that form, you can eat them. They're edible, just not when they're big like this. Now, the third way you can use it is you take a step further and turn it into a paste, either using a mortar and pestle, or you can use a fancy grinding device if you'd like. In the paste form, you can turn it into a marinade, use it as part of a curry paste, or use it in dips. Okay, so very, very versatile. So that's our sturdy herbs. Next, we're going to move on to finishing herbs. Finishing herbs, I call them finishing herbs because you add them at the end of the cooking process to finish off a dish. These are delicate things you do not want to cook because they'll turn black and they'll lose their fragrance. Most commonly, we know of Thai basil. Okay, Thai basil are becoming more and more mainstream now. They're available in quite a few places. There's also another type of basil that we use. It's not doing so hot, but it's called holy basil. These are the two basils we use often. This is a little harder to find, so I wouldn't worry too much if you can't find it. Just want to let you know it's there, it's available. This is called horapa. This is called kapow. Okay, the flavors are a little bit different. This is more hot and peppery. Okay, now this one, the way you want to use them is you can use them in stir fries, in soups, in curries. But you want to finish whatever it is you're cooking, turn off the heat, throw the fresh leaves in, and toss it and let the residual heat of the dish wilt it. That way the color remains green and the fragrance remains fresh. Okay. Other than these, we also use a lot of green onion and cilantro. Now, green onion and cilantro, I want to talk about them together because we often use them together. In fact, we refer to them as a unit. We call this Ton Hom Pak Chi, which just means green onion and cilantro. It's like the universal garnish. Anything that looks like it needs a splash of green, the way you would do with parsley, rough chop green onion and cilantro, sprinkle it on. It'll also add a nice flavor to it. We also use these a lot in salads. In fact, almost all of our salads will contain Ton Hom Pak Chi in there. Okay, so these are the basic finishing herbs. On top of this, we also use Sawtooth Coriander and mint, but we don't use them very often, so I just wanted to mention them. Don't need to worry about it. It's not a part of the basic pantry. So these are our finishing herbs. Next,